This is this is noteworthy. Did you ever smoke pot that is so good that it it it, it basically just puts your ass to bed, and you wake up in the middle of the night and you're still high, and the next morning you're kind of like getting over the joint you smoked 13 hours ago? This new shit I got is like that. It renewed it renewed all the vigor I have for pot smoking because this shit is so fucking strong. I just got a bag of this shit called Revert, and what it is usually when you buy ounces, you can only get run of the mill weed or nothing fancy. Because this place here that I went to was selling grams for $60, and I'm like, that's like a dime bag. I wonder what that weed's like, but that's ridiculous. I'm not paying $60 a fucking gram. Who the fuck would? Maybe if I had a kid or I was celebrating my wedding or something, I'd spark some of that. But so I just bought this standard shit for about $240, and everybody's had wedding cake weed. That's what it's called, wedding cake, because it's a marriage of Sativa and Indica. And it literally smells like cake. Before you burn it, it smells like a cake. It's really weird, and it smells like weed too. So I get it I crack the bag open. Before I can even get the bag open in the car, the whole car filled up and I'm like, ooh, that's a good sign. And so I pulled some out yesterday. I began to look at it, and I can see, I don't even have my glasses anymore, but I'm looking at it on the front porch, and the shit is all covered in crystals. I'm like, oh my God. And so without thinking, and there's some seeds in there too. It's some good seeds. And I'm like, holy shit. I put it in the grinder, and it's hard and sticky, and it won't go through the grinder. And I'm like, well, I've seen this before. Weed that looks good, smells good, texturally is good. Now, whenever I get high, so I smoked this shit, and it put me in a different time zone. It was like, wow, wedding cake. I mean, I love Indica because it's a downer. I've smoked wedding cake before, and it always has that smell. But it was nothing to write home about until this bag of Revert that I got from Salem, New York, is where they grow this shit. And it's gonna be rough because they're starting to cut bills on the marijuana shit, and all these farmers grew it up, and now they can't sell it. And it's just sell this shit. But if you wanna, some of these dispensaries got to keep up. You should always have ounces in stock. I mean, they want you to go in there and pick up little itty bitty 4-gram baggies, and fuck that. I will smoke that in 2 days. I'll smoke, if I have friends over, I'll smoke that in one night. You know what I'm saying? I need ounces. So thank God, I went, what was it called? I think it was called Level 1 or something. And over here in Albany, on the between the border of Albany and Rensselaer. And I opened the door, and the whole place smelled like pot. And there was a friendly guy in front who was super friendly, that was really friendly guy. And you could just walk into this place. There's no secret inner sanctum sanctoriums. There's none of that shit. You just walk in, and it looks like people in a cafeteria or something. But you look up on the roof, and there's a mural. There's an electric light of a pot molecule, and the whole place smells like pot. And there's all kinds of little kiosks, and inside the glass kiosks are the actual weed. And you look around, and the place is surrounded in weed. And they just come around with a little laptop or a little tablet and take your order. It took me like 5 minutes. I got behind this biker who was also picking up an ounce. And yeah, dude, this weed here, it's like hit and miss, because sometimes he'll pick up an ounce and it's good it's okay. But by the end of the month, it's just not, it doesn't have the same kick This shit here was just, I gotta stay on that company, because I make it a point to always smoke indica, and it's not easy to get. But the weed that gives you a hangover. Doing bong hits with Bad Baby. Time to suck his dick now, Dada. She loved it too. She's still laying up in bed with her panties on, ass up on my bed. Dada, bring me some orange juice. Make me an omelet. Okay, baby. Pull the panties to the side and run my tongue up her crack. Stop it. Fucking stoned still. Doing gravity hits with Bad Baby. What could be better than that? In my head, that's what I'm always doing now. But she liked this shit the best too. Fucking Revert. You know what I mean? The fucking wedding cake though, that's like my new favorite weed. I mean, on the street, everybody's got gelato, fucking wedding cake. Everybody's got that. But this shit here, I wish I knew what the fuck, why some bags are ultra powerful and some are not. I was indeed shocked. I couldn't even finish the joint. I literally smoked a quarter of it and had to put it out. It is a bit harsh, but I mean, it's tremendous weed. I love that fucking indica, and this is the first time I got to experience that hybrid. My pussy's getting wet, Dad. Is that a good sign? It's like my dick gets hard when I hear the pharmacy call. Your Adderall's ready. You can come pick it up. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing sweeter than that. I need 120 count, 120 milligram Adderall for a month. Okay, we can fill that. 15 minutes. Oh, God. You know what the best thing to do, though, is, as I told you, my favorite thing to do is when you get a good batch of it's best when you get a good batch of Adderall and you smoke a joint. You smoke a joint and take the pills and wait 15 minutes. And first you're stoned, and then you sit right up in bed and it feels like somebody shoved the cattle prod in you and the speed starts working. Then you're semi-stoned. I can only imagine, if I get money, it's going to be speedballs all the time. I just can't, because that's the way it's looking. That seems to be my thing I love. I just love that. You wake up in the morning, you smoke a joint, take your pills, and in 15 minutes, you snap out of it and you're like, holy shit, now I'm speeding. Fucking need it. I can't wait. I got a doctor's appointment coming up. I can't fucking wait. My dick is already hard. And just cherish my dick when I start speeding again. I need an elaborate library of porn. I'm just watching the same porns over and over because you won't let me have any. But I always rely heavily on my Danielle Bergoli collection to get my dick off. She doesn't even have to do anything. Sit there and smile. And remember when she used to be with Malu too? That chick Malu or whatever her fucking name is? That was the best shit too. That was Jesus Christ, that's lethal. Those two bitches in a room eating popsicles looking at you. What the fuck? Her mother walks in. I'm stroking my dick underneath the fucking island in the kitchen we're all sitting at. Girls, I think you should go upstairs. How hot is that? Jesus Christ almighty, that was too much. You know that 40, 50-year-old men, fathers, are beating their dicks. They had little 13-year-old daughters like that when she was like 13. That's too much. This beautiful Indian bitch and Danielle, it's like, I can't even. My fucking dick. That's what little girls do. They destroy men if they wanted to. It's a good thing they're in the kitchen eating popsicles and not toking on a dick, because lots of suicides, lots of home wrecking, lots of divorces and property battles. Yeah, little girl. Keep my panties. Bring them back next week. Fill them with your jism. I will, Danielle. Thank you.